Hello, and thanks for tuning in to Everybody Has a Story. Today, I'm with Sierra. I'm Kiki. Sierra's our usual host, but today we're going to get to know a little bit more about her. Just a disclosure, all these stories are intimate to the person and not to be discussed or taped to re-traumatize anybody. The purpose of this show is to provide formerly incarcerated and justice-involved women and men to talk about their stories. Their stories with the criminal justice system, medical issues, foster homes, child protective services, doula services, the Minnesota Prison Doula Project, which Sierra and I both work with, ReEntry Matters, Family Matters, mental health services, and so much more. So let's get to know a little bit more about Sierra today.
So I am Sierra, and I'm a doula with the Minnesota Prison Doula Project. I have 5 beautiful children that I love very deeply. I call myself a community activist, a visionary, and also I would like to say that I'm a sister to a lot of people. And I'm willing to stand up sometimes when people's voices aren't being heard, or they feel like they're oppressed, or they just don't have a voice absolutely at all. I
love that. Well, let's talk more about it today.
Yes, yes.
So what else do you do in your free time besides awesome activism?
Well, I like to spend a lot of time in nature. So that means taking walks, going to spaces where aren't normal to a regular average person, I guess. And then I like to be creative, however possible that could be. Taking trips.
Yes.
Just chilling and definitely spending time with my kids.
Mm-hmm. Those are all awesome things.
Yeah.
Good to keep a healthy balance of that when you're doing activism.
Right.
What do you do when you keep trying but you feel like you're failing?
I pray. I pray a lot. Life is hard, and without God, I feel like you can't make it. Mm-hmm. And so I try really hard to be in constant prayer, even throughout the day. If something is bothering me, I bring it to God first. And then if someone personally is bothering me, I like to get it off my chest. I don't like to walk away with stuff that doesn't belong to me. So giving people back their stuff,
right.
And I keep my own stuff.
That's good. You can take your baggage, I'll keep mine.
Yeah, hello.
You mentioned that life's hard and God leads you through that a lot. What else do you want out of life besides all the awesome things you have?
I would like peace in the world. And however I could bring that to the world, I want to be a part of that. I want also stability. I want to be content with a male.
Yeah.
I definitely want that. So that's one thing that's lacking in my life that I'm in, and I'm not thirsty for it, but I just want the right man to walk into my life. I want companionship. That's important to me, and it's important to be able to share life with my kids too, because I deserve that.
Oh yeah.
So, and then I want to continue to keep doing things like this and whatever else I can be a part of to make peace in the world.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I wish peace in the world wasn't so unobtainable, but we can do it one day.
Yes, it can be done if lots of people come together and are willing to make that happen.
Yeah, we shouldn't think of it as such a far-fetched dream.
Yeah, no, it's possible.
What's your definition of happy?
So happiness to me is contentment. Every day I'm happy that I wake up.
Yes.
It's like I sit up and I'm like, I made it.
Yes,
that makes me happy.
Yes.
Success makes me happy. Being around positive people makes me happy. Financial stability makes me happy. Just being myself makes me happy.
That's awesome. Lots of good energy. You give and you get.
Yes.
But you're still an individual, which
Exactly.
makes you even more you and able to do the things that you already do.
Yeah.
Put your
You
own little
need that.
special,
You
your little
need
Sierra
that.
sparkle on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody needs that, right?
Exactly.
That's how you know it's your touch on the world.
Right.
So you have many gifts to the world, we already know. But what do you think is your special gift to the world?
I think my special gift is I have good energy and I have good discernment to a certain degree. I'm working on it. But people tend to say that I bring peace, I bring strongness, giving them wisdom, making them understand things in a different perspective. I'm a great listener. So those are all
those
gifts.
are all very true things too. Yes,
Thank
those are
you, Kiki.
gifts.
Thank you.
Especially when people reach out to you, it's like it's a gift to be able to give it and to receive it as a person.
Exactly.
That's
And I'm very given, even of my time, even of myself. Sometimes when I don't even want to.
Right.
It's like, okay, God, I hear you, but I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Right. And now a lot of people don't listen to those calls and they just focus on them. But
You're right.
it's so awesome and powerful, and it says a lot about you when you can focus on yourself. And why can't I
Others.
focus on other people at the same time?
Exactly.
I love that.
We're supposed to live in community. We're not supposed to live for selfish reasons.
Right.
And when we do live for selfish reasons, that's why we don't get the things that the universe has created for us, because we're being selfish. God did not intend for us to be, you get this and keep it for yourself. It's about sharing all that everywhere, wherever you go. Don't matter if you at Target in the bathroom. You know, if somebody smiles at you, smile back.
Right. Share a smile.
Share a smile. If somebody waves at you, wave back. You know, don't matter where you come from, where you've been, none of that. It's just important to share life with people in community. That's what makes the world a better place and more peaceful.
Right. And deciding when to share positivity, when you could share negativity. Like, you don't have to spread that negativity.
No, you don't. Keep it to yourself.
Right.
If you got a negative thought or a negative feeling, either you need to address it and deal with it, or just keep it to yourself. Figure it out. I mean, reach out to those who, might be able to help you with those negative feelings and thoughts, and say that. But don't take your stuff and bring it to somebody else and drop it off.
Right.
That ain't cool. And it ain't right.
Don't come into somebody's environment and
messing up their energy.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, no.
no.
Yeah, no.
So what do you do to best advocate for yourself?
So I had to learn how to do that.
It's a lot easier to advocate for others, I realized.
I really, really, really had to learn how to advocate for myself. And I learned at a very young age, probably around like 15, 16 years old when I had my first child. And I learned how to advocate because if I didn't, then I couldn't get the things that I needed. And before I was 15, I remember being told all the time, like, you got to stop doing this and you got to stop doing that because people are going to take you the wrong way. And then once I got older, it's like, I don't care how they take me.
Right.
If this is me getting it off my plate and I need something done, then I'm going to ask for it. And if that person says no, okay, well, I'm going to go find somebody that says yes.
Right.
Because it can be done. Sometimes you got to be vulnerable and open about yourself, but hey, if that's what it takes, then I got to advocate.
Right.
Yep.
And sometimes an uncomfortable situation for some people is a learning lesson, and they learn new skills from that too.
Exactly.
Right. So, and a lot of times when you advocate for yourself, people are taking it as something negative against them, but really it's like, no, we're both existing here. I need to be in this space too.
Exactly. So look at me as a person and an individual. And if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you respond?
Right.
And if you look at it like that, then you'll understand where that person might be coming from.
Absolutely.
Why they might be so strong-minded about the situation. Why they might be so like stern or overly emotional about it. You never know where somebody has come from. That's why this show is called Everybody Has a Story. Because you don't know. And because you don't know, you need to know. So sit down and listen. You might learn something.
You just might learn something.
You just might learn something.
What do you do for meditation practices? How do you keep yourself calm? And besides prayer, like what other things can you?
I do a lot of saging. A lot of sage, lots and lots of sage. I
Yes.
sage in the car. I sage at home.
Right.
I sage. I do, like I said, take nature walks. I do a lot of thinking and meditating on the things that I need to happen. Like,
Yes.
even though I talk to God constantly, I meditate on the things that I need manifested in life, because I feel like you have the power of that. The mind is a powerful thing. And if it, like, for example, if you ever thought about seeing somebody like, dang, I wish I seen this person, and then a couple days later
They
you
show
like,
up.
wait a second now, I was just thinking about you. That's because your mind is that powerful that it can create those spaces. And so that is a part of meditation.
Yes.
And
If you can
so
think of yourself doing it, it's already a
it's
possibility.
already, exactly. And definitely prayer. Prayer is huge and instrumental to me. And if I didn't have it, I don't know what I would do. For real.
Right. You're such a pillar for so many people. You need a pillar too.
I need a higher power.
You need
to take care of that.
Yeah, right.
You know, I can take care of some stuff, but I need God to handle the big stuff. I need God to handle little things too, but the big stuff, hey, I got to go to Him first.
Right.
Yep.
It's a teamwork, and I need you
I
to
need
guide
you.
me.
I need you. I
Right.
need you to deliver me, guide me, to give me the energy, the power, the strength to keep moving. Because if I didn't have Him, like I said, we wouldn't be here talking.
Right. We'd be elsewhere.
Yeah. We'd be like, what are we gonna do today?
Right. Do you remember how you and I met?
Yes, we met we were training. I was recertifying for my doula stuff, and you were training for your doula. And that's how we met. But it was so beautiful how we met, because when I first came in, you were so welcoming and you were so like positive, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go sit here by my sister.
We've been sisters.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great experience and interaction with you. You remind me of a younger version of me.
Now that's compliment.
Minus the children, but so sweet and gentle and kind. Of course, you don't have some of the characteristics like my roar.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
But if I catch you
you at the right moment, it's a wrap.
Right.
Okay. Well,
we still Leos.
We ain't had to see that.
Yeah, right.
This is true. We are Leo. So yes, you are a Leo, and this means that we are very much so alike.
Yes.
I keep forgetting that.
Jamaican
Your
Leos.
birthday is same day as Nipsey Hussle.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, Mom, you had me born the same day as Nipsey?
That is like such a gift.
I was like,
it's going to be
what?
such a celebration
right?
on your birthday.
I know. I'm like, it's not even my birthday anymore.
It's y'all's birthday.
It's right, our birthday.
Yes,
okay.
I'm going to be so happy to put a post of you. Like, happy birthday, Kiki.
And Nipsey.
And Nip, my brother.
I love it. I know. Ever since then, we've been like blossomed.
Yes. Our relationship has like gotten so much better and strengthened, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being here today, and I appreciate you for the stuff that you do behind the scenes, and also the stuff you do as a doula. Like, you're great, and you're going to be even greater.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
I always appreciate what you say.
Yes.
How do you, how do people receive your story when you talk about if you have a criminal history?
Some people are taken back by it. Like, what?
Right.
You? Other people, they are like, oh yeah, you're
right.
black, so yeah, of course.
Right, of course,
course.
that whole thing.
Other people are like, dang, that's messed up. That really happened to you? So it just depends on who the source is. But
Right.
it's taken into different contexts.
Right.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah. It kind of tells you who you don't need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to stay over there.
Right. Yeah, you're doing the work
I know
for
not
me.
to talk to you, and I know I can talk to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes that opportunity comes to you to weed people out.
Exactly.
People weed themselves out.
Exactly.
Tell me about your story with the criminal justice system and like some stuff you want other people to know.
So, my story. I'm doing my podcast thing over here, so that's why I'm over here touching. Not now. Okay. So, about 5 years ago, my now ex-husband and I were leaving out of our apartment complexes in Shakopee, and as we were leaving out, there was a white woman who was standing on like the edge of the curb, and she was yelling, "Stupid fucking bitch, slow the fuck down." That was her exact words. And when she said that, I told him, my ex-husband, stop the car.
Right.
Hold up, wait a second. So as I got out the car.
She said it to the wrong one.
Yeah. As I got the car, I said, "Who is you talking to?" And she was like, "I'm talking to you." And at first, I didn't know who the lady was, but then I remembered this same lady came over to my house a couple days before, and she knocked on my door, and she said that one of my kids had been bullying her kid. And I'm like, my kid? I'm like, nah, that wasn't my kid.
Right.
Because I teach my kids to treat people respectfully. And if they have a problem with somebody, you come talk to me. If they're an adult, if they're a kid, try to handle it in best practice way you know how. But if not, come to me and I'll deal with it. So she came over there and said that, and I'm like, nah. So I had one of my children go get the accused child. So my accused child comes back, and he was like, "No, I did not. I was helping her son." But in the midst of this, the lady left. And then her son came back over. And I said, "You were talking about this son right here." And he was like, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one." So he went back home to tell his mom that it was the wrong person. She sends him back to apologize. So I'm like, you could come over my house and tell me that my child bullied your child.
Right.
But you can't come back and apologize and say I was wrong? Okay, whatever. So when we're in this argument outside of the car, and I don't really call it an argument because she was the one being belligerent and I was trying to calm her down.
Right.
She starts walking towards a car. In my mind, I'm like, don't turn your back to her. Don't let her go to her car because you don't know what the hell she could be going to get. And who is this lady and what is she doing?
Right.
So I'm walking with her to the car and I'm like, "You're tripping. Why are you tripping? What is the problem? Like, why are you so mad? Why are you so angry?" She swings open her door and she pushes me. So when she pushed me, my ex-husband gets out the car.
Yeah.
So he runs up, and when he ran up, I had my back turned to them, and all I remember hearing her say is, "He choked me, he choked me." So I'm like, he did not put his hands on you. Why are you tripping? So he walks back to the car. "Sierra, let's go." Because when she opened up to her car door after she pushed me, she grabbed her cell phone. So he said, "Sierra, let's go." So I walked back to the car. And then as I'm walking back to the car, her daughter is in the middle of the street. And the mom yells to her daughter, "Don't touch her, she's pregnant." Because at the time I was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
I was pregnant. I was probably only a couple months pregnant. And so I said to the little girl, I said, "And what the fuck you think you gonna do?" Like,
right.
This is exactly what I said. And the little girl was like probably like 5'2", 120 pounds maybe. Her mama wasn't no bigger than that either. So we get in the car and we drive off. We go to Cub. So I'm like, "What the hell?" She's sitting up here saying you choked her. Why is she tripping? Why is she saying you choked her? He said, "Sierra, I did." And I'm like, what? So I'm pissed off at him because I'm like, why would you do that? Well, he said, first of all, she don't put her hands on my pregnant wife, and that's just not how I operate. She shouldn't have put her hands on you. I disagree with him because you don't put your hands on women. But I can understand from his perspective as well. He went into protection mode. You don't do that. Where he's from, which is Las Vegas, They trained to go. All gas, no brakes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was on. He said, all I seen was her pushing you, and I thought about my baby. I thought about you. I wasn't having it. So I'm like, damn, now we gotta go back to this house because I know she didn't call the police. So he's like, I'm not going back. I'm like, I can respect that, but I gotta go back because one, I had my sister at my house with my kids, and I had to go back. So I go back, and the police are there. So I walk up to the police. I give him my ID. He asked me what happened. I said, officer, we were driving out, and she said, stupid fucking bitch, slow the fuck down. I got out of the car. I asked her what was her problem, trying to talk to my neighbor and get her to calm down. And I wasn't intending on doing anything to her. She pushed me, and then she screamed and said, after my husband got out of the car, that he choked her. I didn't see him choke her, so if he did, I didn't see it. And the officer said, okay, well, I'm gonna go back over here and I'm gonna talk to this woman. I said, all right. So he goes back over there, he comes back, he has a ticket for me and my husband. I'm like, what am I getting a ticket for? And he said, for 5th degree assault. And I said, for what? And he said, because she said you pushed her and he choked her. I said, she's lying. He said, well, you can figure it out in court. I said, so you're gonna believe her over me? And he said, that's what it looks like. And I was like, wow. So over the process of the next couple weeks, I ended up having a miscarriage because I was so stressed out.
I'm so sorry.
And then I was on Section 8 housing, received a letter in the mail saying, we got indication that you were in an altercation with someone, so we need you to come in and to have a meeting with us about continuing on with your Section 8 voucher. And I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
So now this is a domino effect. This is affecting my life now too. Like, what the hell? This is not fair. I did not touch this lady. What he did is on him. He has to take actions for his consequences. That's on him. I'm not gonna take his actions for his consequences. That's on him. He knew better than that. But so I go to the Section 8 meeting. The officer's there. I've never ever heard of an officer being present in the room at a Section 8 meeting. They did not tell me that he was going to be present. They didn't warn me or anything. So I walk into the room. I'm the only black person in the room. It's the officer and 2 other women. They asked me what happened. I told them exactly what happened.
Same as before.
Same as before. Same story. 2 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail saying, your Section 8 voucher is denied. You are no longer with the program. So I had to go to my landlord and tell her, because at the time I wasn't even working, barely, because I just moved back from Colorado not long before that. So I had to tell my landlord, I can't afford to stay in this place paying $1,400 a month by myself and not with assistance from Section 8. So I'm gonna have to end my lease. So, and in the midst of that, my ex-husband gets sent to prison, or jail rather, to do 30 days because of his actions with what he did, because he pled guilty to it. He was like, I don't want Sierra getting in trouble because she didn't do anything. Like, she absolutely did not. And he kept telling him she didn't do shit, nothing at all. Like, nothing. I did everything. So he's like, I'll do the time. I don't have no problem doing it. I was wrong, and I'll take the consequences for that. So in the midst of that, I had been separated from my husband for 30 days, which that was a hard time, you know. I just lost the baby. Now my husband has to go do time, and we were new in our marriage, very new. So, and that took a toll on us. Then I had to move. And now
all these big circumstances, boom, boom, boom.
And now every job that I Well, okay, so I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm going to court, right? So I'm telling the attorney, constantly telling them. I went and looked at the the lady's information, because you can look up all like cases in Minnesota on pastate.gov. I think that's PAMN state.gov. I think that's what it is. So I go look up her name. And when I look up her name, she has theft, she has disorderly conduct, she has 5th degree assault, she has some domestic, like several things on her background. I had nothing, never been arrested, never been, I might have a speeding ticket or no proof of insurance ticket, but never been arrested, never had anything on my record. And so I was telling my lawyer, I'm like, can't you bring this up in court? Like, they need to look at her versus me, and they would see that she's the aggressive person. I'm not. And if you see someone's history, you should see that it's them, not me. Like, I didn't touch this woman. And the attorney kept saying, no, that's not something that they would do. They wouldn't look at that as a you versus her. That's just information that we have. And so he was like, the best thing I could do is talk to the prosecuting attorney and see if they could drop it down to a lesser charge for you. And I'm like, but I didn't do anything. So why are y'all steadily trying to charge me? I did not do anything. So he's like, that's, we could take it to trial, but you risk, if you take it to trial, getting a 5th degree assault. And getting a 5th degree assault on your record, you can never work with people. Like in medical, and that's my career field. That's what I love to do. So I didn't want to risk that. So I said, okay, well, talk to him and find out what we can do. So he gave me a disorderly conduct. And that's a misdemeanor. But I still have to disclose that to employers. So when I make it to court, first of all, well, let me go back to the day before I made it to court. I happened to be outside, and the neighbor's friend, old friend, comes up. She's like, I need to talk to you. I don't know this lady from a can of paint, okay? She says, I just want to let you know that the woman that accused you of pushing her, she's a racist. She says she's out to get you. I'm no longer friends with her because she was just in my house the other day. I was in the shower. She stole all my pills. And she said, and if you want me to, I'm willing to testify on your behalf.
Thank you, God, for that.
Well, thank you, God, but it wasn't helpful, because I went back to my attorney and I said, there's this woman, a random woman, who said she was friends with this lady, and that she stole some stuff from her, and that she would be willing to talk on my behalf at court. And he said, well, that wouldn't be helpful either, because that's just her word versus her word, and so it wouldn't be helpful at all. So I'm like, all right, yep. Every time I try to bring something else, like to show like who I am,
right? Like I didn't do this over and over again.
I didn't do nothing. Like I said, my ex-husband, what he did, he took care of that. He took ownership, but that's not me. I'm an individual. Yeah, we are one when you're married, but I didn't touch him, touch her. So we went to court, and my attorney was switching over law firms, so he sent somebody else.
Okay.
So I dealt with that person, just knew this person. But when I walk in the courtroom, because I ended up getting pregnant again, right before he went in, I found out I was pregnant again. So after the loss, I got pregnant again. So awesome. I walk in, I'm big pregnant. I walk in up to the courtroom. The officer says, "Hey, Sierra." So I'm like,
oh, now it's Hey Sierra.
It's Hey Sierra, but he's present to testify.
Yep.
Yeah. So he came. So I felt like every time he had an opportunity to try to ding me, he was on it.
Like he was racist too.
Like he definitely was racist. He was so racist.
Yes.
It was ridiculous. But he was like showing his face on every platform he could possibly be. And I'm like, I don't know this man from a can of paint. Why is he so much out to get me? I don't know him.
Right.
And how could he even testify on the behalf of her when he wasn't present? All he did was come take a statement from her. And just because you take a
false statement.
Right, just because you take a statement from somebody does not mean that that's the truth. So why are you here? Why are you here? So he's like, hey, Sierra, and I look like, oh, well, that's another reason why I did not go to trial, because if I go to trial, then I risk this officer he's an officer here in Shakopee, where it's nothing but predominantly white people.
Yep.
What are they gonna think? That everything what this officer says is true and correct. So I didn't want to risk it. So I took the disorderly conduct. And I look at it as two things now. Because at the time, I wasn't even working for the Minnesota Prison Doula Project. I look at it as I can tell my story to other women and tell them I've been through it too. I definitely have been through the criminal side of things, and injustice has happened to me, and it happens all the time. But that doesn't mean you stop fighting. That doesn't mean you put your dreams to the side. That doesn't mean that you stop prevailing in life. That doesn't mean that you let that hold you back. None of the above.
Right.
You keep moving. You keep grooving. That's not, so what? That's a disorderly conduct. That does not determine who I am. And every time I went to an employer to apply for a job and I put that on a piece of paper, and I was denied a couple of times for jobs, even working from home, I was denied. Yeah. Every time an employer would deny me, I would be like, well, that's their loss, because I know I'm a great gain.
Oh, yes.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, even now, I still have to disclose it if I were to apply for a job, and I tell the story just as I said. It was a black versus white, and I know it was. Can't nobody tell me nothing different, period.
Because with the chick in the car and the officer.
Exactly.
2 times over.
2 times over. And then come to find out, the lady in court, she tells the people she wants a restraining order for at least a year because she fears my big ass climbing through her window.
Oh, wow.
Like, what is my big ass gonna do, climb through your window? How am I gonna make it up to the window?
Why would I want to go in your window?
Why? Because she said I was gonna come do something to her.
Like, I wish her friend was here to be like, she came in my house and stole all my pills.
Hello. But literally, how is my big ass? What I'm gonna do? Climb on a ladder?
What floor does she live on?
Window? Well, the way our places was, second floor. So I'm gonna climb on a ladder up to your window.
You stand on somebody's shoulders.
And we only have one, like our places were townhouses, so they had townhouses on this side and front townhouses on the back side. So you had one way to enter, which was in the doorway or the front with the windows. So my big ass, my big black ass.
Right, since that's what it's about to, I guess it is.
Yeah, it's gonna climb in your window. Be for real. Yeah. That's what she said.
That would be, I'd be reeling in court.
I was so upset, and you guys are really believing her.
All of these, and I'm with child. You really think I am gonna?
They believed her. They believed her.
And didn't want to look at her record once, but then all these other times we see people looking at not even a record.
Oh.
Or I heard you did this.
Oh yeah. Let us do something.
Right.
Oh, they're gonna pull the whole thing.
Oh, right.
You even scratch your butt wrong, they're gonna be like, oh, she scratched her butt wrong, and we need to document that.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to scratch her butt on court hours.
No. She's on probation for scratching her butt, and we gotta document that.
It's just like interstellar, just crazy, just out of this
absurd.
World. How
shit like this happens.
Yeah.
That's what
I always like we developed a society not to do this.
Right. We thought
not to do this.
Yeah, but it happens.
It happens all the time.
All the time.
And we like to think that, we're working towards trying to, like you said, bring peace and better place. But then there's all these underlying elements that are people
you have to stand up against.
Right. And then it's tiring to be having to fight half battles because you were climbing on top of all these little battles to get to the But then it's like you get to the big battle, whatever it is. There's so many big things, but there's so many things underlying that you have to
accomplish.
And it's like, it almost feels unobtainable.
It does, but if you have the strength and the power to keep moving and grooving and not let that determine you.
You're like,
but for a long time, for a little while, I was very stressed out and very like messed up behind it, because I'm like, I did not do nothing. And then I had to pay a fine, so I had to pay out of pocket.
You had to pay me for not doing nothing. Remove me and my kids from my housing, all because you lied.
Then I had to be on probation to the court for a year. So for a year, I had to answer to the court. So if I would have done anything, that is enhanceable. So what that means is it's a disorderly conduct, but it could be upped if I did anything. So like for a long time, I would say, oh no, I can't say nothing to you, because if I get in trouble or somebody makes a police call on me, I'm gonna go to jail. So I used to walk away from situations for a whole year, with not even being my normal self and being able to speak about it because of this woman. There's
so many things that, and I don't even call it one little instance, because that's not a little instance. It knocked your whole life off. But if you think
it made change.
She pushed you, and she just happened to twist it. That 1 second, and that it changes your whole. It changes your
whole life. So yeah, I'm grateful for the opportunity, because I get to minister to others that have been through similar things, and then two, it just taught me lessons about people and how injustice happens. Cause
it's like you're talking to a wall.
Yeah, it's like I used to be like, no, if the police came and took you, you did it, you did it, and stop lying.
Right.
You know you did it,
right?
And that's what you get. But then now that it's happened to me, I'm like, wait a second. Now maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the judge, so we got to determine this. But it was such a process. Even my kids had to endure, and then I had to see this lady for like at least a month, because I had to give the landlord notice. So I had to see her. And every
being
time
us, I would be like, you ruined my life.
I wanted to just be
but
like,
you couldn't
call her all type of names.
Yeah.
But God, like every name in the book.
Right. The same thing she called you when you were minding your business driving up the road.
Yep. And she wasn't even talking to me, she was talking to him, because he was the one driving. But you don't disrespect my husband either. That doesn't happen. He's me and I'm him.
Right.
As far as that goes. Him putting his hands on her, no.
That's what
but we're
different.
one.
But otherwise, this is the same.
F and B, you talking to him, you're talking to me.
Right. Like, hold on, we heard that.
We heard that.
We heard that.
We heard that.
That's why people film stuff nowadays.
Hello, get your phone out.
Get your phone out and film that.
Yep.
You see some injustice, you better get that camera out.
You ain't got to worry about it. Ain't no discrepancies.
Nope.
She didn't touch her. None of that happened. So you got a question? All right, let's go.
Right. And now let's talk about that evidence doesn't matter.
Don't matter at
because
all. Clear.
Oh, but because I got it on camera now, it matters.
Yep.
But her record doesn't matter. That's just.
It's absurd.
And sometimes it's like we don't want to think about people's past.
But we need to.
But we need to.
We need to if it's a pattern.
If it's a pattern,
if
right.
If it's a pattern and they continuously are doing these things, then you're doing it.
Right.
Period. There's no question about that. But if it's not a pattern, then maybe I should sit back and question this.
Right.
Maybe they didn't. Because at the time, I'm about to be 35 years old. I was 29 going on 30 or 30, one of the two. All of a sudden, in my life, I'm going to start acting up. You would think that would be a history.
Right.
Not at 30 years old, I'm going to just be like, okay, today I'm going to go push somebody. And then I'm thinking to myself, too, like, if I would have pushed her and he would have choked her, that should have been finished. She wouldn't even been being able to call y'all. I'm a big...
She really looks choked being able to call you and tell you the whole story.
I am a big woman. Yeah, he probably ain't that big, but still, like, if I would have put my hands on her, she would not have been able to call y'all. I'm telling you. It'd have been a wrap.
We're Jamaican. It's done.
Done. Finished.
Lay you up on the floor.
She'd have been calling you.
Oh, she wouldn't have been.
She wouldn't have. At all. If I'd have pushed her, I'd have finished her. Just saying.
That's sad.
He wouldn't have had to put his hands on her, because I would have smashed her before he could even come.
Right.
That's it. Nothing else to be
That's
said.
it. That's on it.
I'm just
Can I
being
ask
honest.
how does that interfere with like your I don't want to call it like naive parts of you, but like when you want to help somebody, help, but then not that you were helping, but like you wanted to diffuse it before it got worse,
Yeah.
right? And
Now it's time. Now I will second guess it.
Yeah.
I will second guess trying to, and I do this a lot, but I have to. That's my song.
Yay!
I have to kind of pull back sometimes and be like, okay, Sierra, don't be so aggressive or don't be so outwardly about it, because everybody's not going to take that well because of that. And it's scary because you never know what somebody else, the way they may react. But you have to be nowadays. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, for
you
real.
like the things we're worrying about nowadays. It's like,
Yep.
we're worried about like things like shootings or whatever happening because
Anything.
you
I'm
piss somebody
aware.
off nowadays. Are they gonna?
You never know.
Right.
That's why when she went to that car,
You were like, I
I was like, I'm not turning my back to her. I don't know this woman, and I don't know what she's going to get in her car. Like I said, it could have been a gun, it could have been a knife.
For hearing
could
her
have been a
past, it could have
bat,
been all sorts of stuff.
It could have been anything.
Right.
But I'm not turning my back to her. I don't know her.
It makes you like just act differently on
Yeah.
lots of situations.
A lot. And I have to, because
Yeah.
I got to protect myself, and I got to and be knowledgeable about the possibilities of things that can affect me, even when I think that I'm doing what's right. Yep.
Man, that's like a whole saga happened
whole
from
lot.
that.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that happens every day, which is so awesome that we
Every
try to
day.
work with people who are involved
In those
because
situations.
it's like you ruin people's livelihoods when you lie on them or throw them in there for something that's really not a big deal.
Yep.
And then a lot of other people are getting let off differently.
Yep. And injustice happens black to white. It still does.
Oh, yeah.
That's very real. It happens.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Injustice is so like, it's like so normal that it's not.
It's
It's sad. Yeah.
It's really sad.
Yeah. Well, where are you at right now in things in life? That was, you said 5 years ago. Hopefully now it's.
Oh my God, I have learned so much more. I am so content with life right now. I'm trying to create spaces like these for people to heal and be better. I am an entrepreneur, so I have my own business at Northtown Mall.
Yeah.
It's called Sierra Sparkle Shop. I had
Get you some $5 jewelry.
Yeah, $5 bling bling. I had to lessen my hours because of not enough support, which is sad because I give so much support, but I don't receive it.
Right.
But I'm not going to be sitting there and twiddling my thumbs trying to be like, okay, who's going to come buy some $5 jewelry? I got other things that I could be doing in life.
You have you have a whole list of.
Yeah. So I would like to continue to do these things and being more involved with the Minnesota Prison Doula Project too. I also have a group called ReEntry Matters that happens once a month.
Which is awesome.
And it's for women to come and inspire one another, also to connect with positive community mentors, because I'm all about the positivity.
Yes.
So I just hope to continue to move up in life and just reach my goals and just continue to be a positive force for people and for myself and for my family, for my kids.
Yes.
I want them to be great too.
They already are.
Yeah.
Yes, the positivity part is so important. Like we were kind of talking about earlier, like the universe. You can think about, if you think about what you want, it can happen in the
Manifest
universe.
it, yeah.
The more positive you are about it,
Exactly.
the more
Speak
quicker
it
it'll
into
come to you.
existence.
Right.
I believe in it.
Yes. We kind of touched on this a little bit, but do you feel that you have the support you need from your employer, your community, and your family and friends for most of the stuff you do?
Sometimes, I'll be honest. From my family, not as much at all, really, which is sad.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing things like this, you kind of need your family to depend on them because they know you best. So yeah, my family, no. My friends, I have gotten some great friends along the lines.
It's kind of, you can make your family with your friends.
Yes.
Like you build your own family.
Yes. And my kids are so great and resilient. I swear, it's like,
they get it from their mama.
yeah, I want to cry right now. But they're so strong in ways that they shouldn't have to be, you know, as kids. But they're great kids, and I know they're gonna be powerful people when they grow up. They're 5 little me's, and
yes,
instilling
in the best
these
way.
values in them is great. So to teach them to be powerful community activists, I could see every last one of them doing something great in life, and I'm gonna continue to pour my love into them because they need it.
And it's another unfortunate thing where you learned what it's not like to not have support from your family, and so it's like you can support them even more. Because unfortunately, but also fortunately, you can support them even more. You have 5
I want to show
awesome
them
pillars.
the right way to have a family. I don't want to show them the. I mean, I know every family has its problem. Don't get it twisted, but it's like we normalize dysfunction, and it ain't right.
Right.
It ain't right. It brings so much hurt to not be able to be like, come together as a family and us do things together as a family. I got lots of cousins, especially girl cousins. I should be so tight with my girl cousins, and I'm not.
Right.
I got sisters. I love my sisters to death, both of them. Our relationships should be deeper, connected. I mean, that's one reason why when I was a little girl, I used to say, I want 10 kids. Because
You're halfway there.
Everybody always says that when I say, I got 10 kids. I want 10 kids. But I always used to think, if I have a lot of kids, I'm going to teach them the right ways, right?
Yes.
And then they can depend on each other. Because let's face it, I'm not going to be here forever. But when I'm not here, I want them to be able to go and lean on each other. And so if one doesn't have it and the other doesn't have it, y'all come together and you have it together.
Yes.
That's what family is about. It shouldn't be we out here all for ourselves and trying to figure it out for ourselves. You should be able to pick up the phone and be like, look, I'm in a bind.
Yes.
I need you.
Right.
Come help me. Flat tire. Have to move. Need somebody to talk to, listen, whatever. That's what family's about.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
I love that. You have awesome kids who are already so full of so much awesome energy, and it's great that you just fill them up. It's like you guys fill each other's cups.
Exactly.
It's really awesome.
It is.
Yes.
It's a blessing.
It is. Excuse me, what is your motivation and intuitions for this project?
So my motivation for this project is, like I said, to give everybody an opportunity and a platform to be able to speak their truth and tell their story, because injustices do happen, and I want people to realize in life, like, these things do truly happen. So when you take a step back and you look at a situation, you just might find out that, hey, there's 3 sides to the story. There's one person's side, the other person's side, and the truth. And so you need to decipher where it is that you're going to, which side of the sword you're going to be on.
Right.
But whatever it is, know that you can be in that judgment seat as well. And whether it happened or it didn't happen, it can happen to you. So I want to continue to give that platform for people to give their story and say what happened, because I hear it so much. Every time I go to parenting on Fridays, these women are telling me stories and injustices. I hear it so much. I'm disgusted.
Yes.
And so I want to give people that opportunity to continue to speak it out, because I feel like you get it out, change is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Because people are hearing it like, wait, that's happening?
Yeah.
Because people aren't talking about it. People don't know what's happening. And then they hear and they're like, oh, humans are being left in these conditions. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want lawyers to see this. I want judges to see this. I want police officers to see this. I want people who have to go to jury duty to see this. I want just community people to see this. just take a look and see that sometimes it just ain't what it appears to be.
Yeah.
And when it goes on the news or it goes on a newspaper article, that's just a minor, small
just
piece
the
of
headline.
it. That ain't, it may not even be the truth. That's perception of whoever wrote that.
You're right.
Or whoever's filming that. It might not be the truth. So take a step back and listen and realize that maybe this person could be innocent. Or maybe they did it, but all of what they saying they did ain't the truth.
Yeah.
And prison or jail is not for reform. It does not happen in there. So sending somebody to prison or jail to tell them, go do your consequence, and then letting them out, and then you don't give them resources, you're setting them up for failure.
Right.
That's not
Almost
fair.
lock you up away.
Yeah.
And then send you back out with nothing
Right.
to.
And what people don't realize is that when you go into those spaces, I really honestly believe that people shut off their outside brain and now they're living the inside. And then when they get back outside, then they put on that outside brain. Just imagine if you're sitting in there for 20 years. Your mind is back from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because you're in survival mode when you're in prison and jail. You ain't thinking about the outside world. Yeah, you call, you talk to people, whatever, but you have to be in survival mode.
Right.
It kicks in. You got to protect yourself. You got to watch who's watching you, all type of stuff. And those atmospheres are not the spaces.
Oh, no.
It's not for reform.
You can't reform when you're always on edge.
And then you'd have to deal with the COs. Oh my goodness.
And I'm doing
And some of the program managers, directors, what have you, they ain't even for you.
No.
So it's hard. It's a tough struggle.
Right.
And I want people to realize, you need to hear this stuff and be really critical on what is the truth and decipher it, because it could happen to your family, it could happen to your friends, and it could happen to you.
Absolutely. And you just never know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because you're defending yourself, but somebody else is not.
Right.
On the same page as you. And it's easy for people who weren't in the situation or that are reviewing the situation or whatever to get lost in their own bubbles of, I have to get this done so I can go home at the end of the day.
Right.
And
not have to worry about it.
And not have to worry about lucky for you.
Right, lucky for you.
Right.
But that person that you just persecuted has a family.
Yes.
That person that you just persecuted has friends. That person that you just persecuted has a life, and you just took them away from that.
Has opportunities going on.
You took them away from that,
right?
And you don't know what is going to happen to them
and you get
in
to
that
go home,
situation.
take your robe off, go
and
home,
and be like, whatever.
Oh, another day. I'll sleep on it.
And just remember that though you may be judging, we all have a judgment day. So take that stuff with you too, because when you're standing up there, I hope you have all that ready for you too, because he's gonna judge you as well.
Because God got receipts too.
That's a worse penalty than ever.
You ain't getting out of that jail.
Yeah, no, no, not the hell jail.
Not the hell jail. So what does acceptance and equality mean to you?
Acceptance is just taking ownership of your actions and things that may happen to you. So just accepting it and taking ownership. That's acceptance.
Like being this just has to be a fact right now.
Yeah, it is what it is. Right. Like if you take it like it is what it is.
Because it is what it is.
It is what it is. It ain't gonna change.
Right.
So living it how best possible you can, man. Life is a struggle. It's hard. Every day is hard. But if you take that negative and turn it into a positive, that's what I always do. And I don't know when I learned it, but I did learn it.
Yes.
And no matter what, negative, all right, let's turn it into a positive. Because it could be much worse. I could not have good health. I could have no wealth. And I'm wealthy with love.
Right.
I could not have no one who loves me. I just told you earlier, if I didn't have my 5 kids, I would be a loner. How fun is that? So yeah, that's acceptance.
Yes. And it's not just accepting the good, it's accepting the bad.
Regardless.
Right, accepting regardless.
Yes, no matter what. No matter what the situation or the circumstance is, you are content in that and you figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, go ask somebody to help
you. Hopefully you can reach out to the community.
Exactly.
And somebody can help you out. Right.
Or a church, or a group, or Facebook, or Instagram. There's so many resources out here that you can utilize. So use them.
Right.
And definitely therapy. Therapy.
Yes.
Therapy is huge. Utilize it because it's there, and I've used it, and I'm happy to say that. So yeah, and then equality is just everybody having the equal opportunities, no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, no matter what the situation is, you're equal to get and receive the same thing.
Right. We all are at the line together.
We're
to
all
be
God's children.
Right.
So we should all be
we were all
living
born
that way.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Period.
What is success to you?
Success is living your dreams and goals, and being content in life, and doing the things that you love. If it's not what you love, find something that you love.
Oh, that's wasting energy.
It's wasted.
Don't do it if you don't want to do it.
Yes.
Your heart's not in it. Then don't give fake love to somebody.
Yes, no, not at all.
Somebody else who wants to do it can fill my spot.
For real. I'm sorry, but I can't do it.
Right.
I lived a long time doing what others think I should do.
And it's easy. It's easy to do when you're
or in the mind frame of being controlled by other people.
Yes.
In
like you need to have somebody telling you what to do or something, right?
And just period in life, and that is not a good space to be in. So I realized that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take my life back and do the things that I love to do. I know God's gonna bring me through, and everything that I need is possible by His way. So if it's not what I love to do, I'm sorry I can't do it. And if it's meant for me, then it will be.
Then it will be, right.
Period.
And if somebody can't do it for me, then that's okay. This is not what you needed then. This is not your time to do it. You don't want to do it, that's okay.
That's cool.
Right.
Period.
With a delicious cherry on top.
With
a cherry on top.
With some whipped cream.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, awesome.
Yes.
That's it.
So, thank you everybody for tuning in today to our live podcast show. If you would like to be a guest on the show, or you have questions about the live taping today, you can certainly reach us at sierrasparkleshop@gmail.com. That's SIERRASSPARKLESHOP@gmail. Thank you for tuning in. It was a great show today, and we'll see you next time.